Hi, so this video is going to be to show you how to make a task in your competency-based gradebook or Slate. So the first thing you need to do is go to Slate, log in. Under Tools, you're going to look for something called your task dashboard. I made my screen really large, so mine's over here right now. So in the task dashboard, you're going to find all the courses you have listed in Skyward, all the courses that you have for students. You select them by choosing the down arrow. You can see I have Computer Science Essentials, AP Physics, and I have Demo Class. That's what I'm going to use today. But all of your students will be populated in these classes for you, and they come straight out of Skyward. You can modify that, and there's different videos about that. But if you want to add another teacher in, or if like a co-teacher, or if you want to add a student in, like they're doing a special project with you, all of that can be modified. So before we talk about how to make the task, we need to talk about the naming conventions. So what I mean by that, everything needs to be labeled for parents and students to see. Remember, this reports out to parents and students. So maybe your class or your curriculum is done by units or chapters or modules. That would be what you put first. And that, to some extent, is up to you. So these first two spots, Unit 1, Unit 2, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Module 1, Module 2, are up to you and how you want to label those. But it needs to be followed by either an RT or an ST. So RT means that it's something that's going to have a rating in it, and ST is a supporting task where it's being marked in there for completion, for mastery and completion. You follow that with a colon and what the title is. This could be mitosis. This could be systems of equations, persuasive essay, whatever you want to put there as a more descriptive title for parents to know what it was. So now that we've covered that, let's go back to the task dashboard. Here's some examples of that. So under Unit 1, this top one is a rateable task, and I made a subtask of that, which I have listed as a subtask. It doesn't have to be, but that's how I did it. This subtask is not something that can be rated, whereas the top one can. So if I click on those, you will see that there's no scale for rating in here for the subtask, but the top one has competencies in there that can be rated, and actually for this student have been rated. So I could rate them. So how do I create these tasks? Well, first I want to point out I have Unit 1 RT Task 5, Unit 2 RT Second Demo, and Unit 3 RT Demo Task. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to click on the plus. This is how you make an assignment or task. You have options in here. If you want to clone something, like let's say I do something every single day, maybe this HOS rating I do every day, I wouldn't though. So maybe this task here I want to do every day. I could click on that and it's going to put all the information in for that. I don't want to do that though. So I'm going to click on it again. I'm going to give this one a title. So I'm going to call this Unit 3. It's going to be a rateable task, so it's RT. And maybe this is robotic arm because I teach robotics. This could be a subtask of another one. So on this one, I'm going to make it a subtask of Unit 3, and I'll show you how to do a different one in a minute. Type of experience, you can click on that, but you don't really need to. It's just going to be course. Due date, when I want this to be due. So I'm going to say that this is due on the 26th for me. Expiration date should be a couple weeks after the end of your semester. So I'm going to go over here to May into June. I'm going to click about the 10th. You always have to select your students. Sometimes you'll see that this is checked and it's showing the red underneath it. If that's the case, just click on it again, assign it to all students. Mind you, I only have one student here, but I could assign it to just 2 students by clicking here and picking the students that I want for that. And since it's a rateable task, there has to be something to rate. So I'm going to type in sci. So I go to the science ones. And I'm going to choose the modeling. Oops. So I'm going to scroll down. Sci. Sci 3 is the correct one. Maybe I have a couple of them. I probably wouldn't have a lot of them, but I would probably have more than one for sure. I'm going to leave it at one right now. I could add links in here. So if I wanted to link to my website, which has the information on it, or I wanted to add a link in for the template that they're going to use, I could put that here, or I could even link to Google Classroom. And then I'm going to save that task. Now, notice it didn't show up here because I made it a subtask. So there you see it right there, Unit 3 RT robotic arm. I'm going to go in and make this not a subtask. So I'm going to X on that, hit save, and you see that it's now its own line. So it doesn't have to be underneath another task if I don't want it to be. But I can organize my tasks in that way. So now I'm going to make another task. I'm going to edit that because I actually use this and I want it to be a subtask for what I use these things for. I can also make things that are supporting tasks. So title, robotic arm template. So maybe they need to make a plan for me, and that's what this is. It's not going to be a subtask on this particular one. Actually, I will make it a subtask. I'm going to make it a subtask, a demo task. I'm going to give it a due date. Everything has to have a due date. Everything has to have an expiration date. Once again, that's 2 weeks after the end of the semester. This one's not going to have standards because this one is not a rateable thing. So going back up to my title, I'm going to put in there that this is Unit 3 ST. So it's a subtask. And it's a robotic arm template. And once again, I could put links if I wanted to. Notice I have all students checked, but it says this field is required. Click on it and then click on it again. It will take care of that for you, or select students individually. And I save that, and it's going to show up here as my robotic arm template right here. How these differ, when I want this to be complete, I would check complete, but that's for another video. So that's how you make tasks in Slate. Please go through the continuing videos if you want to learn how to rate or any of the other skills. Thank you.